Over the past few decades, aquaculture has become one of the fastest growing industries. The aquaculture sector has recorded an annual growth rate of about 10% in the last 5 years. This is not very surprising as it brings a ton of advantage. Not only is it a sustainable alternative to traditional fishing, it also boosts economic growth in coastal and rural areas. If done correctly, aquaculture can also increase food production and help keep waterways clean.
The aquaculture industry began in Malaysia in the 1920s. In recent years, aquaculture has been identified as a priority sector in Malaysia. In 2014, Malaysia became one of the top 15 global producers with 521,000 tons of total aquaculture production. In 2019, the aquaculture industry has grossed over 3.1 ringgit billion of income. Our team acknowledges and is fascinated by the importance of this amazing industry. However, aquaculture will need to continue to grow in order to meet the growing demands of the global human population. Our team's aim is to find ways to automate and reduce the manpower requirement in the aquaculture industry. Hence, we started designing and working on this remote control fish feeder.
As to how we can operate the mechanism, there is a control and receiver part. So it means that we are going to touch the controls and we're going to use the remote to control what the IR sensor does. And we have programmed 6 buttons on it, respectively, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yeah. So the first button controls the hour, second button minutes, third button is the second. Then 4, 5, 6 will be the start, stop and reset button. So how this thing works is, pressing 1 adds a 1 hour to the timer duration, pressing 2 means adding 1 minute to the timer duration, and pressing 3 adds 1 second to the timer duration. If we press 4, the timer begins and it will start counting down from the given duration. Then if you choose to stop the timer and abort it, we can press 5, which will completely stop the timer. If we so want to start the timer, we can press 4 again and it will start the timer from when we last programmed it. It means like if you set it for 2 hours and you aborted it for like 1 hour, if you start the timer again, it's gonna go from 2 hours again. So what if you don't want this? What if you want it 2 hours, then you want to cut it down to 1 hour? So that's where the last button comes in, the 6th button. So when you press this button, it resets the timer duration back to 0 hours, 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Then after that, you can program the timer to go to which amount of time you want, like 4 seconds, 5 seconds, just press the 3 button 5 times, then press 4 to start. And if you want 5 seconds again after it ends, press 4 again. That's just how simple it is. So that's the basic how to operate this system. And how this system works is basically we take an input, we make an output from the remote sensor. The arduino takes the input from the IR receiver. Then after some calculations inside the system within the code, when the time is right and when our time is allocated has gone to 0, it will signal the servo motor to open the valve, letting food out and closing it once enough food is gone out. This is how we are going to operate our feeding system and how we can make sure that it is accurate, and for every given interval of time, food will be delivered through the servo system. Okay, so the mechanics of the project. Like we just said, I pressed 1 here. Yep, so adds 1 hour to it. Then I'll start the timer. Timer start. Well, it's long countdown, so I don't want to wait that long, so I will just press 5. See, aborted timer. The timer is aborted and it'll still be stuck at 1 hour. So I'll start it again. Yeah, see, it's 1 hour again. It'll start counting down and keep counting down until it reaches 0. But for the sake of time, I'm just gonna abort it now. Then I'll press 6 to completely reset the timer duration. And see, if I press 3, it just starts counting from 0. Adds 1 second, 1 second. When I press 2, it adds 2 seconds. When I press 1, it adds 1 hour. That's how I programmed it to be. And if I press 6, it resets again. So now I put a timer for 3 seconds and as you can see, after 3 seconds, the servo ons and lets food out. If I press 4, it will still continue the 3-second loop again. Yeah, and we can just add some time if you want to, and now we have 7 seconds. So we press 4 and you'll wait for 7 seconds, then the servo will on. Yeah, as you can see, that's how this mechanic works. Yeah, I'm gonna just do it again for consistency, but it actually works for every minute, every hour, every second that we feed it.